live.
Good morning, governors and governettes. It's I, the gorilla from Australia. G'day, mate. And it's Cowboy. G'day, Cowboy.
Good
G'day. Look, y'all listen to Algo Factory. I just went southern all of a sudden. Jeez. You guys are all listening to Algo Factory, where you can trade your job, upgrade your life. Join us for less than the price of a bottle of water. A bottle of water. You can join us or die. Not severe. But no, seriously, all kidding aside, join us and be part of the most prolific trading organization on God's green earth. We teach you not only how to trade, but to build the algorithms that trade on your behalf 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That is what we do, Cowboy. I don't know if you know that.
I think I
think you did.
A clue that we knew that.
Yes. With that being said, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Good. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing swimmingly, very swimmingly, because I'm swimming somewhere.
Swimming in money.
I took a hot shower. It was wonderful this morning.
Oh, I thought you needed a cold one.
Yeah, that's usually at night I need a cold shower.
Cold shower. Oh, have a cold shower. Good. All right. Yeah.
I got my dark roast.
Dark roast. I'm doing I do medium in the morning, like medium roast. I like the taste.
I use Death Wish, bro, in the morning. Dark roast Death Wish. It's so good.
That stuff's supposed to be strong.
You want energy. You want to wake up in the morning. Well, let me tell you something, brother. You need to get some Death Wish coffee, brother. Death Wish coffee, brother. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, you do a great macho, man. I do a great
Step into a Slim Jim.
There you go. That's perfect.
Oh man, back in the day, dude, WWF was so fun in the 80s. And then like in the 90s, it got super lascivious. Like it got, very sexualized.
Very sexualized. That's because Vince McMahon is a freak.
I guess. I don't know what that was about. All kinds of weird stuff. So let's jump into the charts here. Bitcoin looks like it is grabbing some liquidity here. So I'm going to share the screen here in just a moment. Had a little bit of a late start today. I don't know. I was working pretty late as usual, and I think I just unconsciously kept hitting the snooze button, not realizing that I had hit it 3 or 4 times already, and so I got up a little late. It's not too common for me. Usually I'm not that guy, but today I was that guy. That's the thing about trading. And this kind of thing when you run your own business, you're the boss, and if you're late, then that's actually the worst thing. Because the only people who are your boss at that point are your customers. The customers. So here we are though. Bitcoin is still in the big range, and the customers. You gotta help out your customers.
Got that right, Morty.
Just make sure that your customers are happy.
That's right, Morty. You have to make sure your customers is happy.
As long as your customers is happy, you'll continue to have a business, all right?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to just bring out the liquidity right away. Go straight to the liquidity maps over in the Kingfisher. Great website here. And you get to do it for free. You get to spin this wheel if you don't have credits. And, it's cheap. You just buy a membership if you want. You have unlimited stuff. Depends on how often you use it. And if you're trading a lot of crypto, I think this particular website is necessary. And they don't pay me. I'm just telling you out of the good, just saying how good they are because they're that good. There is a referral code. You use that, though. That's in the description here. Okay, so liquidity, immediate liquidity to the upside, right? So you got, what is that? Oh, hold on a minute. Got to get rid of this banner. There we are. Okay, so liquidity at 68, say 5 and 69.8. 68.5 and 69.8. That's above price. So 68.5 and then just below 70,000 right about here. So in order for price to go to those areas to grab that liquidity, the charts do have to favor a move up. And at the moment, the charts, I was telling everybody last night or yesterday afternoon, really, at Algo Factory, there's a lot of people who think there's going to be another move down. Some people think it's going to go, down to like 56,000. I don't think price is going to break below this consolidation again. It could happen. Anything could happen. Price could go down to 40,000. There's no absolutes in trading. At this point in the market, though, historically, Bitcoin does tend to just stay in this consolidation and usually the upper part of that consolidation. Now, the math I had said that there's a high probability that once price started to consolidate towards the top of this entire month's long box here, that Bitcoin is ready to break out. This move down here, though, is a little, let's say about a little over a week ago, a week and a half ago, I did say if price came down to this area that it's at right now, I might be interested in looking at longs, but that's only, of course, if the algos say that I can go long. And at this point, the algos have not said so. This though is a bit of a mini range inside of here, and that's a pretty attractive place to go long. But this is a pretty brutal candle as these most recent candles go. I mean, that's nothing compared to some of these stop hunts that you see going back several months. These are brutal, but this is a pretty good. This turned into a pretty good candle right here. For as long as that is, and that's on the 18 hours. So basically, it's like a daily candle. And yeah, we'll see what happens here. Algorithmically, it is not ready to turn around. I mean, I think it might even break down below this. It's either going to break below, and if it doesn't break below this little mini range, which the bottom of it is basically about 66,800, then what it would do is go like this and hang out down here for a while and then head up, or it's just going to break downwards and do whatever it does. And there's not a lot of liquidity to downside on the liquidity charts, but there's plenty of liquidity back here towards the bottom of this consolidation. And to break down here, it wouldn't surprise me to see us retest the bottom of that. But again, at this point in the cycle, there's a decent chance it's going to catch either here or just below here, catch some liquidity and head back up. I mean, time will tell. I wouldn't go long right now, though. I would wait. I mean, look, a range trader would just be long. It touched the bottom of the range. They have a stop loss. They would be long. They don't care. The range traders, they got balls of solid rock, and that's how they would trade that. At this point, I don't have the data that tells me that I can go long, but it might show up. It might show up today. So that's Bitcoin. And it does seem, though, still confined to this much larger consolidation. I don't see it breaking below. I know you have a different handle on things, and usually it's a really good handle. How do you feel about Bitcoin and all this stuff that I'm talking about? Do you think Bitcoin's going to stay above 60,000? Do you think it's going to stay?
Yeah, it's not crashing below where we're at right now. Where are we at right now? 67?
67,000. You think it's going to stay above 67 like I was talking
about? It's not
going
to go below 63. It's not going to go below 63. If it does, it's only going to be for a moment. And it's not going to get into the 50s. And then we're going to, again, consolidate, come back up. This is hot on the news of what's that? Coinbase and their ETF debacle.
What happened there?
All right. The news behind Coinbase, if you guys haven't heard, Coinbase has been basically selling BS fake, what's it called? Like they were rehypothecating Bitcoin.
Well, of course they were.
ETFs, right? So that's what they were doing, and the price wasn't pumping because of that, right? A lot of
they were sucking up the demand.
Yeah, without actually a supply. There was no actual Bitcoin leaving, just as they were doing in, I mean, this is how you work in ETFs. That's why they do in the gold ETFs, silver ETFs. There's no underlying asset. So Coinbase is doing the same thing. Now, because they're regulated by this SEC and the CFTC and the and the whatever, your mom's uncle and all this other bullshit, right? They're regulated by all these governmental agencies. That gives them the ability to rehypothecate, take advantage of anything that the same tools of fraud.
You know what they should do? We should have everybody withdraw their Bitcoin from Coinbase.
They should, 100%.
If everybody just withdraw their Bitcoin from Coinbase, that would solve the problem.
100%. So they should withdraw their coins from every American exchange because they're doing the same shit.
Yep.
So what happens is that they are fronting Bitcoin that isn't theirs. They're borrowing Bitcoin that's not theirs. It's supposed to be their customers, and then they're pumping up and then they're shelling it out as quote unquote liquidity for ETFs. So bullshit, smoke and mirrors, dude. Who warned everybody about this years ago? I did. I said you're going to be doing what? Trading a facsimile of BTC. You'll never get into your wallet. If you want, you can only liquidate into fiat, and there'll be a massive tax at the end. It's happening in front of your eyes. It's happening in front of your eyes. Look, here's a tweet from Shasha. She was one of our former attorneys. She's awesome. Shasha Hodder at Hodder Law Firm. Go ahead, pull this up on the screen, man.
Gotcha.
All right. She's she was the attorney for me and Gus. Okay. So look at this. Coinbase is rehypothecating its prime lending customers Bitcoin and fund ETFs. And Shasha is an attorney within the digital space. Okay. That's why the price isn't pumping. They are settling with borrowed Bitcoin instead of buying new Bitcoin. Shame on Brian Armstrong for this one. There you go. They're saying, oh, it's not true. This is how ETFs function. The very functionality of an ETF is you cannot have an underlying asset. And if there's not an underlying asset involved in an equity trade, my friend, what do you have? Fraud.
Yeah. Yep. Smoke and mirrors.
Yeah. So which is basically the entire American financial system. Fraud. And they're expecting that the crypto bros who went to go put on knee pads and suck off Wall Street was going to all of a sudden, save the world and you'll be able to buy a cup of coffee with your Litecoin. And no, none of that shit's going to happen.
Litecoin, bro.
None of that's going to happen. What's going to happen is that you're going to have nothing and be happy.
Oh, Jesus Christ, bro. Litecoin.
I had to throw that in there.
Oh, yeah. No, that's good, bro. Dude, listen, you guys got to understand, if you're new to the show, like, we go back to some fun times in crypto. We and I have been working together since like late 2016.
Yeah, that was like the wild, wild west of crypto, man. Holy shit. Cowboy and I have been in like crypto deals where you got these buyers and sellers, these brokers. They're shuffling paperwork back and forth. I have a buyer, you have a seller. Let's make it happen.
You got to sign the MC 104.
Yeah, all this other bullshit. It's all broker bullshit. These are guys who were like selling like used cars last week. Now they're all playing brokers.
And then like one guy sends an email to everybody. I'm going to find you and kill you. Like,
oh my god! I'm like,
he thinks he got cut out of a deal.
Yeah. He's like threatening people's lives. I'm like, dude, if I I'll grab you by your ankles and use you as a baseball bat. Shut up.
He was grabbing his own ankles.
If he saw me in person, he'd grab his own ankles.
None of those deals worked out.
None of those. And the funny thing was, I remember me and one of my institutional partners, because this was like, again, the wild, wild west of Bitcoin. We're all trying to figure this shit out. All of a sudden, it's like we're sitting there for like 3 weeks. We're watching these guys shuffling paperwork back and forth.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
And at the end of like 3 weeks, they realize they're buying and selling to themselves. There was like 15 people at the end of the day. There was no buyer or seller. These assholes were buying and selling to themselves. It was all in there. They basically circle jerked themselves.
Into thinking that, and because they want exactly the amount that we're buying.
Yeah, this is and they're like, this is they're like, of all the contracts, this is the most perfect setup. The buyer and seller is like peanut butter and jelly. They're so perfectly matched up. This is going to be a great deal. We're all going to make millions.
Yeah, it's peanut butter and peanut butter.
It was dog poop and dog poop.
The only deals I've seen work out first of all, the only big deals I've seen work out have been where V was the one handling the transaction, first of all. And then the ones that at least I brought to the table were guys that were just like, You know,
real players, man.
The real players, like, hey, I need to get this much, and like, and then like V will meet up with the guy in Manhattan and shake hands, and the deal got done. Like any of these ones back in the day that was like, oh, I need the NC 104 form and all this there. I'll
MT 199.
That's what it was, MT 199 for the.
And I'm from bank. I'm like, you understand that's an interbank messaging. That's between bank to bank. That's not even shared with you idiots. Like, what are you talking about? You're throwing around terms and jargon and. It's so stupid, man.
It was so bad, bro. It was so bad. Like, and I remember, and some of the guys that I got involved with, they're doing pretty well now. Remember Norman and the boys?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they just got a multi-million-dollar injection in their company in Switzerland, but they stopped doing all that stuff too. They created a script over there. They're doing great. I just talked to them a couple days ago.
Nice.
So because I don't know if they're 6 months ago I was telling you about they're doing a fundraise, and they actually got 10 times as much as we were talking about. So they're good, and they started out just like that. They had me over there. They flew me over to London, and I was on their like Salesforce talking to people. So we had. I mean, there were some serious people on one end, and then the other end was just, it was a joke.
There was like, I think 1% serious people and 99% clowns.
But that's how you figure it out, though. You have to be like, you have to feel your way through, and that's how that works. And,
I mean, when you're on a call and everybody's going around saying, oh, so give me a little quick bio. I'm so and so. I did X, Y, Z, and spent X amount of years doing this, and then I'm so and my name is Megan. I'm a crystal healer.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You know that at that moment.
So okay.
It was over.
Yeah. Or
I'm looking for the mandate of the mandate.
Mandate.
I'm the secretary of the secretary. You cannot cut me out.
Yeah, dude. It's just like you have somebody on the call who runs like a retreat in Turkey. It's like a yoga studio or something. Oh, dude, we're still live on YouTube, but this is fun, dude. This has got to be fun for people listening. Let's run through USD JPY for Cool Cap before we run over to the private show. Let's at least get some charting done real quick. All right, so it does look like it's developing a range. So USD JPY, we've talked about this at length. So you can go back through some of my shows to hear what's going on in Japan with the Bank of Japan. But basically, there appears to be a currency war, and the Bank of Japan has decided that they are going to do what's best for the Bank of Japan. And for the Japanese people, that's what it seems to be, because they used to be on infinite QE, which is basically like money printing and real negative interest rates, stuff like that. And they've talked about now for the first time in, I don't know, nearly a decade or two, starting to talk about raising rates. Now, here's what's going on, though. It does seem that there is a battle against Japan where, or at least against the Japanese yen, where some parties are just selling off the yen big time to try to hurt the Japanese yen, which you see this major move up right here. And this blue line here, price was below that. The dollar was below that in terms of yen for years and years, like for the entire history, right? And then now it's just kind of rotating back and forth. And at this point, it seems to be creating a range, right? It seems that all of the ammunition between the two parties is, at least for the moment, starting to run out. Price is developing a range. I am one never to underestimate the Japanese ever. Those candlesticks you're looking at the screen, those were Japanese candlesticks. Trading was fucking invented by the Japanese. Like futures trading was invented by the Japanese. So if anybody knows this game, it's like as steeped in their culture as anywhere else. And it does appear that price may go ahead and bounce and head down. It's very difficult to predict the Japanese yen right now. On a higher time frame, it's difficult. Is it going to pop above that? Is it not? That's just going to depend on, I think, some of the masters in the universe, and if they decide to kind of screw things up. But at the moment, just looking at the algos, I would say there's a decent chance, and I'm not ready to fully commit to this yet, but I think there's a decent chance that price will start to head down at least to the midpoint. And this range that I drew is dirty. It's not that clean of a range. It looks like a developing range. So I'm not totally comfortable saying this is a range, but I think that's what's developing. And if somebody put a gun to my head and said, take a trade, I would just go ahead and short to the bottom of that little range. That's what I would do. I don't know that I'm totally comfortable taking that trade right now, but if someone said take a trade, then that's what I would do. I'd short to the bottom of that range. So oh shit, son of a bitch.
Hey, man.
We had the screen up because we took a look at your article. Okay, we're gonna go through this story again. We're not gonna tell all the Japan story
I
again.
think the people could visualize this in their brains.
Well, we'll just here it is. For Cool Cat specifically, this range is dirty. But if someone told me to short,
Very dirty.
I would short down to about 154.63. Again, I'm
so
not
dirty. It's sleazy.
It's pretty sleazy. Like
It's a
price
sleazy
could
trade.
actually
Look at
it
that
could
trade. It's so sleazy.
I mean, I could tell you short term it wants to head down. High time frame, it could head down. But in this like weird midterm, it might grab liquidity to topside before it heads down because this range that it drew, again, it's not a fully defined range. So I'd be real careful. If I were to short this, I would either be ready to be wrong or I would have a deeper stop or split the difference and do both. Like, so short it and then have a stop, whatever your methodology for stops are using this structure right now. And it's a beautiful trade. If you can get it, it's about 2.5 to 1. It's nice. Or even have a deeper stop where it's like 1.5 to 1, or then have a 1.5 to 1 and then like a 2.5 to 1 and just do one of each. But I'd be careful of that stop hunt on that. So that's the JPY. Via the Gorilla, get us over to the private group, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, guys, don't sit on the sidelines watching this go by. Join us. Learn how to make money from the coming chaos. The storm is upon us. The chaos is about to begin. You want to be well positioned, and we will help you get there. That being said, Cowboy, get us into the private.
Join us or die.